It is the Flow Friday night sports show. Great to see North Central Netball back in action over the weekend. Witchproof Narraport had a nice big win to start their season in the A grade. I'm sure our next guest is delighted about that. Jenna, welcome back to the program. How are you?
Good, thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me again.
Well, how did you pull up? That's the most important thing after the game.
Look, I pulled up a little bit sore. I've not long just gotten back to work. I work in Birchip, but I am a regular to visiting Pat Allen in Donald. So Pat's fixed up my legs again this morning. So I'm very grateful to Pat for what he does for my legs. He keeps me on the court. We had a great game on Saturday. It was just so good to be back.
Well, you did
playing netball.
Yeah, you had a ripping game. I mean, the A-grade result was a huge win for Witchproof Narraport, 72 to Sonata 19. And we know Sonata are going to struggle a little bit at that grade and at that level, but that's a huge start for your girls. And it shows us that you're going to be right around the mark.
I hope so. It's sort of hard to tell in the early rounds. I mean, Sonata were struggling for numbers. They had to forfeit their C grade. But they're a whole new side, so full credit to them. They were sort of trying to work out positionally where everyone fits. And I think our girls, goaling-wise, our goalers were terrific, and our new girls seemed to just sort of slot in really well. So we got a leg up from the start, and we picked up a bit of momentum, and it was a really good game for all seven of our girls. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the flag, but when you put 72 goals through the hoops against anyone, you're still playing humans. They're not witches' hats, so you still actually have to put the ball where it belongs, and you've done it 72 times. That's got to give you some confidence in round one for sure.
Oh, it certainly did. I played the 4 quarters in the centre. It was a lot of centre passes, so I was just wrapped from a personal point of view to not have any slip-ups in those centre passes, which was great.
Good stuff. All right. Well, the rest of the club, Witchproof Narraport, you mentioned there was no C grade. So how did the rest of the club go? I think the B grade had a solid win as well. Yeah,
the B grade played terrifically. They're a great team. So they'll be really keen. We've got high hopes for them this year. They're a great bunch of girls. So they had a really strong win. And I think the club got a bit of momentum going. My mother-in-law's played and been around our netball club for a very long time, and she assures me we haven't had a day of netball where she's won everything in over 30 years. So we were up and about on Saturday. We were wrapped. I think our under-14s really set the tone. They played a really nice game of netball, and our under-17s, again, just a really great bunch of girls that have worked really hard. They started training in October. So for a bunch of 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, it's really great to see them rewarded with a win round one.
Absolutely. And for all you Witchproof Narraport fans, get a photocopy of the ladders at the moment and put it up on the wall. You got Witchy on top. And I know we're round one, so just bear in mind. Witchy top in the A grade, the B grade, the C grade, and the 17 and under A grade. How about that?
I know, we're pretty wrapped, especially that A grade one. It's not often Wedderburn aren't on top of that ladder, so we were pretty chuffed with ourselves Saturday night having a look at that ladder. But on Saturday we come up against Wedderburn, so it'll be good leading into that round two.
Top of the table clash. We'll get to that in a minute. Speaking of Wedderburn, they had a solid win as well over Charlton, 56-20. They're going to be a good side again, as we know, but Charlton would be a little bit disappointed with that as a start, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so. Wedderburn, in talking to Meg through the week, Wedderburn have got another great side, a really good mix of talent, a really good mix of height across the court. So they're very hard to match up on, but Charlton certainly will be disappointed, but they'll bounce back. But I think for Wedderburn, they've got a new goalkeeper who's doing really well, Lara Judd. They've also got the force that is Maddie Possel in at goal defence, who's she's an absolute force. You sort of just can't get around her as a goal attack. And then I say little in stature, but on court, her presence is huge. Olivia Lockhart has been, I think Saturday she played in their wing defence spot, and there wasn't much that got past her. So, we're trying our best to sort of work out how we're going to navigate that terrific team this weekend. But I think Charlton gave it a red-hot go. Kirsty McKenzie must have been a fair standout in defence, as she always is. I'm sure they'll bounce back against Sea Lake this weekend.
Yeah, we'll talk about this week's games in a tick. And speaking of Sea Lake Nandaly, they had a good 12-goal win over Birchip Watcham as well. So good start to the season for the Tiger Girls. They'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and I'm a bit embarrassed because I picked Birchip and they let me down. But I'm assured Ash Roberts, who is a North Central A-grade best and fairest, she played a ripper of a game on Saturday, and she generally keeps a very level head. She's a very smart netballer. So I think she did a lot of damage to the Bulls last weekend. And then they have a wealth of talent across their court. They've got a really great couple of young juniors in the mix as well. So it's good to see them up and about. They'll be one of those sides that you never know what you're going to get, I think, other than a really hard-fought game. So,
all right. And another team up and about early in the season is Bort. They were very good last year and would have been prominent in the finals had there been some, but they were too good for Donald, beat them by 23 goals, 50-27. So that's a good start for the Magpie crew.
Yes, that one doesn't not taking anything away from Donald, but I think the calibre of netballers that Bort have, they're going to be very tough to beat. They're very enthusiastic. They've got a really good mix of, again, height and speed. I think Georgia Sheehan, there's something about Georgia. She pulls the team together. We know from experience she had a season with us while her brothers were playing footy at Witchy, and she's just magnetic in the way she draws the ball, and she's able to shoot cool, calm and collected no matter what point in the game she's at and however tired she is. She just boosts those around her. So between her and the likes of Carly Isaac, they're a very, very good team. But Donald, again, another, it would have been a very tight tussle back and forward, I have no doubt. So where our scoreline was quite high, there would have been a hell of a lot of physical contests in that game, I have no doubt. So, and
no doubt people off to the physio through the week to try and rebuild, much the same as yourself, Jenna.
Yeah. Round one's always tough, no matter how you go. But I mean, Saturday was a bit overcast in Witchy, but it certainly wasn't cold or anything. So combine that with heat and just that cruel round one awakening, I guess, there would have been a few sore bodies. So I hope everyone's feeling a bit better than I was after Saturday.
Fingers crossed. All right, let's have a look at what's happening this weekend. So your matchup this week, top of the table clash, you beauty.
So we travelled to Wedderburn, playing early this week. So I'd just like it noted that we're playing early at Wedderburn's request, so hopefully they go kind on us for a start in that regard. Maybe they'll play into us a little bit and we can jump on them. But, we're playing different times this week, just earlier to accommodate. There's a wedding in Wedderburn, so happy to do that. It means we'll also get to watch a bit of footy for a change, which would be really nice. So
and maybe the footballers can get out and watch you as well.
Maybe. Let's see. Maybe they can have all the kids while we play netball. But it will be it'll be a really great game. There's good matchups all over court. I know all clubs as of today, our North Central emails bouncing around with clubs struggling with COVID cases and close contacts that are isolating. So I think it's going to be hard to sort of work out who's in, who's out each week. But I know from a club perspective, Witchy, we're going to miss a few key outs due to COVID tests being positive and close contacts this week, which is a bit difficult. But it also gives, some other girls an opportunity to sort of jump at. So we'll have a different side again this week in the A and B grades, just because of that. But like I said, it's good to mix it up and give some different girls a run in different spots. So
absolutely. All right. Well, I won't ask you to tip on that one because that would be redundant. That's silly. But, what about the other three games for the round? Who's playing who and who's going to win?
So we must have. We've got Sea Lake taking on Charlton. So my tip will be Sea Lake in that instance in the A grade. As I said, I think they've got a really good wealth of experience, particularly in Ash. And then from there, Birchip and Bort play over in Bort. And I think going off the weekend's results, I think Bort are going to be too strong for Birchip. But again, it'll be another physical game. There they match up. Those two sides match up really well. So both very strong goaling ends. So it could very well be a shootout, which would be really great to see. So who does that leave? That must leave St Arnaud and Donald.
Yep.
So St Arnaud and Donald. I'm going to say that Donald will have their first A-grade win. I think they've got the likes of Jess Wyatt coming back from pregnancy, and they've got a wealth of experience as ever in Sarah Adams and Xanthi Rice, and I think just that side you can never underestimate. A few key junior matchups in there as well, and boosted with that experience, they'll always be a worry for their opposition, that side. So, but I'll tip them over St Arnaud, I think.
All right. Another big round this weekend, North Central Netball, then the spell for Easter, of course, but we'll get the results from you next week. Jenna Allen, thank you very much for joining us here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and good luck for the weekend.
Thank you. No dramas.